Okay, it's only been 30 minutes. Have I pinged Discord, by the way? I have not. Whoopsies. I love how we've been on this arc of working on the procedural generation stuff for a little while, but honestly, like, it hasn't been that, like, long, all things considered. You know what I mean? It hasn't been that long, all things considered. Supposedly, we only started this, like, 4 days ago. So now Y positive has the 1. X positive has that. Y negative is a wall. X negative is a wall. Yeah. Gotta add items soon. We do have to figure out why items are clipping through our generation. Is it because the items... It's very possible our items are spawning before the generator spawns in, and then the items end up clipping through the world. Yeah, maybe we make it so the items don't have any physics on begin play. Or maybe we like do a line trace down. It tries to find a surface. If it doesn't find a surface, it delays its spawn or something. That might be the play, guys. It might be the play. All right, so Y positive. X positive is a wall. X negative is a doorway. And then Y negative is a wall. Zahib. I really do think like we could probably make a tool for this. That like we just set the beginning values and then it does the rest for us. Really think that would be a good idea. Might be a smart idea. So now that I have that piece, it's very possible that we can start seeing some pieces going this way. Okay, let's see. All right. Any pieces going vertically? Hold on. We'll get there. Maybe we'll generate one at some point. Hold on. Maybe, do I have to make a mirrored piece for this to work? Guys, it's not generating a single one. I was hoping it could. Also, part of the problem could be the fact that the pathway might not be allowing for it. Because I have an idea. I have an idea. No, this might not work. Wait, maybe it does. Maybe it would? The up or down value could be we could randomize it between 1 or 1F. Is this up or down? No. Is this up or down? No. This is up or down. I need a random stream seed. Seed me. Give me the seed. said the bird. Seed. Random. A Boolean. Random string. Random Boolean. Fine. Select. Haha. Haha. Yeah. 1. False. True. Let's see what happens. Surely nothing will go wrong, right, guys? Oh no, we don't have enough pieces. Oh my god. No, that's bullshit. We gotta... Wait, do we have that piece? Yeah, we do. We have a two-way open piece. It could have selected a two-way open piece. Oh, motherfucker. Grim, did you know planets are found in space? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They are. In space. Why is it always this fucking generation isn't able to generate a piece here? What's going on? Just make an S piece? Okay, slow down. You're getting a little crazy. Don't get too crazy with it. Should we put this same thing, but in the X positive move? What happens then? Oh my shit. It's just a Alright, that can happen now, apparently. Uh-oh. Whoa, see, this is what I mean. We need like a huge tile set for this to even happen. What the fuck? There's nothing in here. It's literally where our generation system should not allow this to happen. Okay. So here's the great thing about all of this. We're going to need so many like pieces for this to work. Additionally, I think we have some hard-coded stuff that specifically only allows one type of doorway. No, that's not true. It should work. We should have a piece for that. So our current problem right now is... Maybe we just leave it as doorways. It's kind of boring though because we restrict a lot of options of like what kind of generations can end up occurring because we force it to always have a doorway. But that's kind of boring because then we can't get any vertical pieces. So the T connection open, wait, hold on. Did we, wait, did I not make a piece for the two-way? No wonder it can't generate it, because that thing, did I just import the mesh and then not do anything with it? Is this being used anywhere? Oh, caramba! Oh, my caramba! Oy, ay, ay. Nah. Yeah. Ah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. I gotta check if the YouTube stream on? We're good. YouTube stream is here. I want to make a video about working on this stuff because I thought it was I had a blast. Can I tell you? I love working on this. This is cool. This is so cool. This has been kind of fun to kind of figure out and stuff until it's not. You know, it's fun until it's not fun. Hey, freak, how's it going? It's fun until it's not fun. I will say the one thing that is not fun is adding in all these pieces to this humongous array, which by the way now has 47 array elements. I wonder if the more pieces in here, the laggier this whole thing becomes. Probably will. It probably does make it much laggier because then there's like so many more options it has to filter through every single time we loop through it. But so far, it hasn't been too bad. I do think we're probably going to want to convert a lot of this stuff to C++, though. Going to be real. Going to be real. Not unreal. Going to be real. Yeah. Anyways, two-way open.
Shit my pants, I did. First Knine stare.
Bri, thank you for the prime. Thank you. 57 months is insane. Thank you. Grab a snack. It's a good emote. It's a good emote. Yeah, I 100% need a tool where I could just insert the beginning values and then when we rotate it, it'll just do the thing. I don't even care. If it's potato code, that's fine. But we need something. We need something that can add all of the different variations it needs. And that's it. Potato code approved. I'm a big fan of potato code. Big fan. Everyone's too fascinated by like making the cleanest code ever. Pfft, who cares? Pfft, whatever. Cleanest code ever. How about getting it in the game? How about them apples? I feel like we wrote this one. No, I think there needs to be 4 different rotations because the empty area is always going to be different. Alrighty then. So now we have the T connection. Now we can actually, I've forgotten my words. Now it should actually generate vertical pieces. Look at that. Instantly, we added one thing to the tile set and it was actually able to now input the piece vertically. That's all it does. That's all it takes. That's all it takes, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just you wait until I add a corner piece. And then the corner piece has 2 open slots. That's a whole new can of worms. You know, now that I think about it, we really did not need to scale this out. I don't know why I thought we needed to do that. We really did not need to do that. And maybe we revert that. Maybe we like fix that up a little bit. In the S piece, we're not putting in an S piece. What would that even look like? What would that even look like? Hell yeah. This is sick. Dude, hell yeah. Sick. Okay, now it's got... So, in the beginning, I was just using the gray box materials so that I could tell where these are being generated. But I don't think they need to be gray box anymore. I think I can... I think we've safely input enough values so there's no random empty spaces. Ideally, we would figure out where empty spaces are, even though it's not supposed to be there, and then like create it like a little thing to like fix it up. I'm not skilled enough to figure that out because I'm really not skilled enough to figure that out. So, yeah. One problem I have with this structure, though, is it tends to not create empty spaces. Like every slot is taken. Also, we are having little things like this occurring, which is not very good. I think that's because of the backtracking algorithm. There's a doorway here that goes into nothing. Oh, shit. Yeah. See what I mean? There's an empty space here for some reason. And I think that's because we don't have a flipped version of the corner piece that we just put in. Because that corner piece has the door on the other side. And we need the door on the right side. Oh my god. What? Could you show the posterization setup? Posterization for like what? The materials? Our post-process? Why does my floor material flicker invisible for 1 second once every minute? I don't know. Oh, the post-process? Here, I'll quickly show it. Because honestly, it's really not that complex. We literally just grab the post-process input value and we call a function called posterize. And I don't think I edited this. This is right in the, or I'm pretty sure this is right in the engine. I'm pretty sure this is right in the engine. Or maybe not. No, I think it is in the engine, but I duplicated it and maybe modified it a little bit. I think I did modify it a little, like a tad. That's about it. That's basically it. That's the whole post-process. Do I do anything for materials as well? No, not really. I try to keep them relatively lower resolution. I do try to keep them a little bit lower resolution. It helps a bit, I feel like. All right, so this is one of the downsides of this random generation system. We have to go in and find that corner piece that we made and make a flipped version of it. So here we have this corner. I made a flipped version of it. This one now, we have to create a flipped version of this one. Ay caramba. Okay, so like that. You know what's gonna suck? Trying to populate these levels. Maybe I should have just made them static meshes. We have a lot of levels. Guys, we have a lot of levels. Like a lot. We have a lot of levels. So if we wanted to randomize, placing a light mesh in each of these would be pretty straightforward because all of the ceilings are the same height. That's not a problem. Okay. We're gonna have to maybe rethink this. Maybe we don't use level instances. Maybe we just use static meshes. Yeah, we'll see what we end up doing here. Would that be easy to refactor? Um, um, uh, I don't know. Ask future me. A problem for future me. Okay, we need to figure this out. Okay, because this is gonna waste so much of our time. Adding in the different rotation variants. What pattern am I noticing here? When it rotates, 1f from y positive becomes x negative. Then it becomes y negative. And then it becomes x positive. Why didn't I structure these values in a way where it was like x, then y positive, then x negative, and you know what I mean? So then all I would have had to do is just go, okay, move one down and then move the bottom one to the top. You know what I mean? That would have been so much easier. Why didn't I? I guess I can still kind of picture it that way. I just have to kind of reformat it in my brain. Um... Hold on. Okay. I think we can figure out some sort of thing that can then add all of these and then add every rotation, rather than me having to do them manually. First off, let's figure out how do we add... How do I add an input to the data asset? Okay, so first, probably editor utility widget. an editor utility widget. Pick the root widget? Stackbox, I guess. Add random gen tile. Okay, okay. I don't even know, does UE have a, oh shit, I don't actually know if they have this. Do they have a way for me to select an object from a list? Have I done that before? I don't know if I have. Oh shit, I don't know if I've ever done that. Selecting from an object list? Editor utility combo box key. Editor utility spin box. Can I specify what kind of object this should be? Uh-oh. Am I gonna have to manually fill out? What's he asking? How can I input? So let's say I wanted to drag an object from my thing into the editor utility widget, like for example, a level. I don't actually know if I've ever done that before. I actually don't know if I've ever done that before. Dynamic entry box? I actually don't know if I've ever made anything like that before. Boom, boom. Editor utility editable text, spin box, editor utility list view, editor utility tree view, tile view. There's an entry widget class, but like, let's see. Editor utility widget object input. Using the single property view. The name of the property to display. The value of an object's property? What? Asset thumbnail widget details view. What the fuck? What the hell is this? I just added the whole outliner into the it's the whole outliner. Look at that. Wait, what is that? Why is there an add button? What is that? What is the add? Some placeable actors? What the shit? What the hell is that? That's really sick. What is that? Okay, so we need a drag and drop thing in here. I need something where I can just drag and drop an object into here. That's basically what I want to do. But I don't know if the editor if the editor utility has something like built outright for me to use from. If that makes sense. I'm seeing a lot of editor utility specific things, which is great. I need like an input. Similar to how you'd have for like right here. I don't know what this slate is. I don't know what this is called in Slate. This like an input. Let me just search up input. Single input context. Input key selector, but like that's for like a key. That's for like a key. So that's not what we want. This single input context is for my thing, my inputs. I assume that's the input key selector. Is it the asset picker? Is that what it is? I only have asset thumbnail. The single property view is just like for viewing the property. Is there like maybe a plugin that allows me to utilize those tools? Because that would make it a little bit nicer. Is there some I'm missing here? Let's see UI. UI, Common UI plugin, no. UI framework, no. Web browser, no. I'm going on a tangent here. Alternatively, we just make it so there's just a button. And it just detects which level we're currently in and then adds that as the thing. Like that could be the alternative. But I really would like to see I don't know why this is installed. I would really like to see how we could do that, where you could just drag and drop something in there. I don't know how to do that though. I don't even know where which one that would be. Dynamic entry box that auto generates its entries at both design time. Useful case where you can have a varying number of entries but isn't worth effort. Editor utility. See, I'm assuming it would have to be something in the editor utility, but it's very possible it doesn't even exist. Did you know? Wait, someone was able to do it with the single property view. This guy also includes a color picker with his tutorial? So it is a single property view. Yeah, I don't understand what's the dummy widget for. Wait, what? So wait. Hold on, I want to look at both of these real quick. Why is it that a dummy blueprint or dummy widget is required? Is he doing that in pre-construct? He is. Level selection. Fuck. Level. Looking for level. I'm looking for a level. Is it level or map? Soft world reference? I don't know if that's gonna work though, because the struct. No, we have to split the thing and then set that there, and then maybe. And then you have to set the property name? Level won't show up in Blueprint. You have to expose it in C++ and make a struct wrapper in C++ if you're using it. So we're just going to use an object because I'm pretty sure level derives from object. Just means that we won't be able to filter through all of our shit. Wait, how is he seeing that? The object is self-reference if you want to get the property from the widget. Wrong property name? The property name is attached to the variable name. God, what a dumb... what a stupid... Go away, Windows. I'm not in the mood. And now I can select the thing. Like, we could use level instance, but... Why isn't there a level, and then level select won't work. You can use the level instance node to promote it to a variable, and then you have your variable. Oh, right. I remember I did that before. What a dumb engine. What a dumb pile of bricks sometimes. Honestly, like, I remember doing that a long time ago. And now we have it. Hey, woohoo! Stupid. Why? I remember I did that before, and I was like, this shouldn't work, right? And it worked. And I was like, this really shouldn't work. It felt illegal being able to do that. Wow. Okay, this is horribly documented. Maybe they should, you know, add a comment to this piece of shit, as in, like, the object that is going to be grabbing the variable from is this, and then property name is the variable name. It's working as intended. Epic just hasn't gotten around to exposing it as a normal variable to declare. Oh, you mean all of UE4 they haven't, and then UE5, and then they're going to get to UE6 and still not declare it? Yeah. I really should learn a different engine. As time goes on, I become more and more frustrated with this shit. Well, UE6 killed Blueprint, so no need. That's true. Yeah, fair point. We don't need to invest any time into this anymore. That's true. You have a point. So does that mean you can technically do a single property view for a integer as well? Is UE6 going to be C++ only? Who fucking knows what they're going to do, man? Who knows what they're going to do? Can the stack box not stack things vertically as well? Okay, there we go. Nice. Love that. Hell yeah. So could I actually just set this to a value and just call it like rotation? Make it an integer. Do I even have to do all this shit? Could I just maybe put the property name directly in here? Guys, you can't. It does not default to I guess. So if I input a value in here, say 4, I guess this would change the actual variable. So then when I need to push a button to then submit it to my data asset, it's basically just setting these values, right? As I'm understanding it. We're burger boxing. As I'm understanding, that's how this works. So anytime we set any values in our editor utility widget, they will modify them. Let me add a padding to this before I go fucking crazy, though. And then we also maybe wrap this with a size box. Wow, that's really cool. It doesn't do anything. Ah, that's awesome. It just does whatever it wants to do. I give it a value, and it just does whatever it wants to do. I guess the size box then needs to be wrapped with an overlay. And now it has thing. I wish you could modify an editor utility widget to just, one, I would love to give it a title. I've always been thinking about this. It's really annoying seeing EU. Woo, blah, 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 blah. I want to just rename it, or maybe even not have a top bar at all. It would look so nice. And then maybe like other shit, please. Please. And then maybe like make it not resizable. Just make it fit to the like. I know it's a very like I'm being nitpicky, but. It would be really nice to have those things for the editor utility widget, but I don't think we're ever going to get that in UE5. So I guess I'll just go fuck myself. All right, so we have rotation. Then we need 4 more values: x positive, x negative, y positive, y negative. These are strings. So we'll just go on ahead and do whoop, doop, doop, doop. Stop asking for better blueprint tools. UE5 is dead. Long live UE6. It really is baffling just how many blunders they keep doing, huh? It really do be it do be kind of baffling just how many blunders are occurring. Let me make sure x positive, x negative, y positive, y negative. Okay. Right, and then the last thing we need to do is I really think the end game for me is I use a source version of UE and I just modify the source code. With scriptable tools, you could do more advanced stuff with the utility widget, like a viewport UI and I think custom windows. Scriptable tools? Whether you're afraid to touch C++, I literally have been using it, sort of. I'm not afraid to mess with it. I just know that I am slower in C++ than I am with Blueprint. So I can iterate things a lot faster in Blueprint versus doing it in C++. That's just the reality. It's not that I'm scared of it. If you do join the 5.8 Forever group and then you get other devs fixing the engine for you, I really do think 5.8 is going to have like a cult, like a cult, what's the wording I'm looking for? Like a cult following, like just staying on that version of the engine. Oh, this is going to really bug me, is each of the inputs being on a different line. Oh my god, and I can't modify it because the single property view has no oh, that's going to hurt. 5.8 is going to be so modified in a few years we'll get an entirely new engine company. Oh, it's 100%. I would not doubt that there's going to be like a lot of developers refusing to use UE6, especially with like the things that are there. I would not doubt there's going to be like a popular fork in the future that like everybody just goes to. It's going to get to that point, 100%. Without a doubt, it's going to get to that point. They're going to be like, why is no one using UE6? Please feed our AI. We need your code to feed our AI. I'm on 427 because I'm in the UE4 cult, and I think UE5 is overkill for 99% of indie game devs. UE5 has a lot of great tools, and if you're using DX11, it's very close to UE4, but not like, definitely not like 100% there, unfortunately. But don't get me wrong, 427, awesome. But I do like a lot of the stuff that's in UE5 as well. If I could just have the rendering of UE4 and the more optimized slate so that the editor doesn't feel clunky sometimes, while still retaining the features that UE5 has, like PCG, which I haven't even used yet, and some of the widget stuff and some of the editor tool stuff, which is really handy for like Scythe. Because Scythe, you need UE 5.5 plus to use. Yeah. Okay, so we have our buttons, we have our inputs. Now we need a button to commit it. All right. You didn't want to do the 100 floor game because of the random generation? No, the problem with the 100 floor game is just I just didn't like where the combat systems was going and stuff like that. For all we know, I could end up going back to that and making like a 1 month project. I've been trying to think of like, what could I do as like a 1 month thing to get something out there and try to force myself to keep within a small scope and not be like swayed by popular, supposedly popular gamer opinion, which is game that needs to last 5 gajillion years. I've been thinking about that, trying to get out of that mindset that a game needs like progression and all this other shit. I just want to make cool gameplay, man. Cool, fun gameplay. Who gives a fuck about the progression and all this other bullshit? Who cares? I'll just give you all the powers that you can use. You just figure it out. All right. Okay, so we have our add random gen tile. This is our perfect instance for this. So now, how do I add an input? Just make a physics game, unlimited emergent gameplay. Yeah, but then you're dealing with physics. How do we add an input to a data asset? Can I just call Better-deem, better-deem, better-deem. Can I name override data asset? There we go. I'm gonna try to match the name as close as I can. Okay, all right. That's probably as close as I'll get. All right, that's probably as close as I get. So then we can select the thing, then do the thing. Your logic is reversed. Make a game that is only upgrades. No one wants gameplay. Bills must be paid. Is this just a game where you just... Oh, it's an idler incremental game? Huh. Yeah, maybe you're right. I should just make a game like this. Don't get me wrong, it's satisfying. I'd play it, but I know this is literally just manipulating and abusing a little element in my brain. It's like, ooh, money number go up. In reality, I don't want to, like, I like playing games like that to an extent, but I also like making games that, you know, you gotta kind of think and use your brain a little bit rather than just mindlessly turning it off. If I drag this here and then rerun it, so it's not changing the window for me. I'm in the same trap. I want to make action games with no upgrades. I'm okay with upgrades. It's just upgrades equals a lot more scope. You know what I mean? So, hold on. There is an array in here called rooms. Can I just get rooms? Let me we're gonna begin transaction, primary object. I'm gonna start with just one add. To see if this works. Did I forget how to change the tab name? I don't know how to do that, middle. For the editor utility widget? Can you do that? Is it possible to do that? Is it blueprint display name? Class defaults, tab display name. Oh. Wait. I can't. The display name for tabs spawned with this widget. Works for you? What the hell? Oh, you're in 5.8? I'm in 5.6. Maybe it can't have spaces. If you run it from the content browser. Maybe when I restart the engine, maybe it'll work. Who knows? Yeah, maybe once I restart the engine, I think it could potentially work. Who knows? We shall see. All right, so yeah, I still remember when they added editor utility widgets. I still remember when they added that. I thought it was fucking so cool. I want to say it was probably 4. I want to say it was in the I want to say they added it probably 4.18, maybe? Potential feature worth updating to 5.8. Dude, 5.6 feels so stable right now. I just don't want to like deal with other headaches just for some editor utility widget name. Okay, so end transaction. This will allow us to undo if we need to. So, let's just try this real quick. Rotation 0, x positive is 0. X negative is 1. Y positive is 0. And then Y negative is 1f. So, okay, it added it. Did it add all the required values? It did. Okay, all right. So we're going to delete that real quick. Because the next step, the whole reason why I did this to begin with, is we need to create the other rotation variants, which there are 3 of. Okay, so let's look at this in a circle. So I'll open up Notepad. So we have x positive. Then the next one is y positive. Then we have x negative. And then we have y negative. I don't know why I didn't do this in the beginning in our structure, and I did x positive, x negative. Like, it's so annoying. I'm actually going to just take this and put that there. Okay. So for each rotation, it's basically going to take the x positive, move it to y positive, and then move everything else down. Whatever's y negative becomes x positive, I believe. So y negative becomes x positive. How do we program this so I don't have to manually put it in myself? It's easy. We just take the y negative, insert it at index 0. When you insert something at index 0, everything else is going to get pushed up, right? Right? So I just have to create a string array, and we have to keep this in mind: x positive, y positive, x negative, y negative. How's the recursion coming along? I think we got it working mostly. Now I'm just trying to make a tool. To easily add in pieces, because it's becoming ridiculous to add pieces in the data asset directly. So our thing is x positive is first, then y positive, and then x negative, and then y negative. I should have really done this in the beginning. What's my favorite node connection color? Shit, man. This dark blue. Yeah. The dark blue. Hello, Devin. How's the Devin going on the RNG for the sloppening of friends? It's going quite well, actually. It's going quite well. Just wait. I'm about to do something real quick right here. I guess we just insert something at 0 and then delete the last one. Insert item at the given index into the array. And then we delete the last one. Can I not move something? I swear you can move an item. But like, no, we don't want to swap. So we need to do insert. We're going to insert, what we need to insert at index 0 is getting the last value. And then from here, then we're going to remove the last index because we've just added a duplicate. And then this becomes our rotation cycle for 1, 2, and 3. So all we got to do now is go here, go add, and then we just do the same things that we've been doing here. Actually, no, we do direction cycle. Oh, this is going to be annoying. So because this is not a proper cycle, I have to make sure I put the right things in the right spots. So I'm going to need to do 4 of these. X positive is always X positive. Y positive is this one. And then X negative go here, and then this one goes here. And then that should be correct. Should be. And then, of course, for the rotation value, it's the index of this for loop. And then what we'll do for this first piece is we'll just double check all of them to make sure it's correct. All right, run utility widget, data asset, level selection. This is going to be open v2f, rotation 0. So X positive is 0, X negative is 1, Y positive is 0, and Y negative is 1f. So we basically just feed it the initial values, then we commit to the data asset. It should add 4 values. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1F, 1F, 0, 0, 1. So now what we have to do is just double check that we did this correctly, and we're just going to confirm that rotation 1, the rotation 1 is correct. So y negative should be 1. As it is. Y positive is 0. X negative is 0. And then X positive is 1F. So far, so good. Let's check the next one. So X should be 1. X negative 0. Y positive is 1F. And then Y negative 0. And last but not least, let's test the last one. X positive is 0. X negative is 1F. Y positive is 1. Y negative. Okay. So I don't have to do that manually anymore. I just use the widget. And it does it for me. Yeehaw! It would appear our pathway... Why is the pathway going that way, but there's nothing in that pathway? Corner open V2. Okay, did I fuck up on this one? Corner open V2? The rotation of this is negative 90, which means this is rotation 3. X positive is 0. X negative is, Y positive is 0, and then Y negative is 1. Why did the path try to go over here? I have a feeling that's because of the oh, great. I gotta delete these manually. How about I just reload the level? Aha! I think that has to do with backtracking. Jesus, dude. There's 3 hallways that are that big? 4 hallways? It would appear this is missing a piece. So this is the only problem. We don't have a way of checking if a tile exists for a certain section. And this is a corner piece. A corner piece with 2 open slots. Oh, shit. I don't have that. How is that spawning in? Oh, this is just it's just a corner piece with 2 walls. Oh, fine. I'll make it. Fine. I really should change these tiles to not have these slants. It actually makes my life a little harder. Why do the walls look wonky? I don't know what I was thinking. I think I didn't have enough coffee. I think that was the problem. I didn't have enough coffee, and I did not know what I was doing. All right, so my bad. My bad. I should have left it how it was. However, it does mean that it's quite easy, because all I got to do is grab this big piece. I think. Grab this big piece. And then create a corner. That's it, baby. How does a mine look from the inside? Is it rocks, dark rocks, white rocks? I actually don't know. I don't know. Look up a picture, man. What do you want me to tell you? Look up a picture, man. This is corner open V3. Why is that V3? I don't know. I should probably come up with a better naming convention for this stuff, huh? Before I forget, let me go ahead and delete these instances. Okay, so now we need corner open v3. Okay, let's reopen our editor utility widget right here. Select that, rotation 0. So X positive is a wall, X negative is open, Y positive is a wall, and the other one is this. Commit, done, save. Guys, so much faster. That is insanely so much faster. Now let's see if we have any corner pieces. Oh, dude, we're already seeing the corner pieces. We have L-shaped rooms now. Have you ever had an issue where data tables return a different value than they're technically supposed to? I don't think so. But to be fair, I haven't been using data tables in a while. Yeah, I guess that's... Yeah, I guess that could happen. I guess... Yeah, I suppose a corner into a corner would spawn whatever that is. You're using procedurally correct now and generating rooms and doors with it? No, Fist. This is the same thing. This is all tile based. Do you think players would look at this thin wall and say anything about that? That's cool though that it spawned this room like that. Like that is cool, don't get me wrong. Also, it is really spawning a lot of those rooms. Which, like, I'm okay with. That's cool. Oh, you're changing the data tables dynamically. I don't think you are supposed to. I think that's illegal. I don't think you're supposed to be able to change the data tables dynamically. I feel like those are meant to be very static. I could be wrong. I feel like I was told to mostly keep those as static information. Oh, the data table assets, not the contents. Okay. I see. Can this even spawn a corner piece? Like I want... Oh my god, it did! Wait, that's cinema. Oh my god, cinema. Huge. Humongous room. Humongous room. Okay, now the problem though is, how do we furnish the interior of these? Well, yeah, well, now I gotta modify all these materials. Myself. Yeah, this random generation system, I think we are going to end up stepping away from the leveled structure and instead just use static meshes. And then I think we're just going to let... We're going to create a PCG system, I think, for the furnished stuff inside. Something I was thinking about yesterday, by the way. What if we wanted to randomize the materials of the walls on the inside? Like the colors and stuff. I don't know how we determine like a room. We would have to somehow detect the room by the value of 1f and then add it to an array and then determine what the color is in that section. I don't know what. No clue what we're gonna do. Don't know. No idea. This shit's gonna be complicated. That's okay. We're learning a lot. Procedural generation, very cool, very fun. Sometimes. Sometimes fun. Sometimes not so fun. All right, so now I got to input train floor on each one of these. Wait, that's the wrong material. Okay, then we need main for the ceiling. Some of these UVs are fucked, so I gotta like UV it, and then re-import all this stuff. Sorry, I'm like doing all this in a second on my second monitor. Okay, and then the walls. All right. What's crazy is we actually could bring in this plain tile and use it. And it could generate like crosses and shit. That could be kind of cool. It was like pluses. Could be very interesting. So I need to make sure that we unwrap this correctly. I believe that's correct. Wait. This one didn't re-import correctly. Or it didn't UV unwrap correctly. Oh, did I forget to select everything? Am I dumb? Yep, seems that way. The 33 assets have been exported. I don't. Oh no. It would appear we have some stuff that has export recursive on it. Ah, it's the doorways. And the walls. Whatever, just select the floor pieces. Should be 7. Okay. There we go, that wall's fixed now. Okay. Uh-oh. I re-imported a mesh and it rotated. I hope nothing else rotated. I didn't see any of the other ones rotate, but it might be concerning. Quickly, do a test, see what happens. This we might have to fix. It's a very flat plane. It's a very thin wall. I feel like I could probably break that wall by pinching it between my fingers. God, this is cool. Look, it created a Tetris piece. Ho ho! Now we're talking. Now we're playing with procedural generation. Look at this. It's no longer just... Although this looks very weird, dude. Why is it a doorway into a door? Whatever, man. I don't even care. Whatever, dude. Who cares? If anything, that's what makes it fun. Whatever. Doorway right in between the damn wall looking ass. Modern architecture. It did it again. I don't even care. Whatever. That's fucking funny. Just procedural generation, just procedural generate everything, Crim. No more manually making shit. Nah, man, I'm still gonna make stuff. As much as this procedural generation stuff is very cool, it's not like one size fits all kind of thing, I would say. All right, I feel like we did a pretty good amount. Oh shit, there's I think a few of these environment pieces actually. Now I think about it, might not have correct collision. They do not. That would have been bad. Let me check all of the new ones that we added in. This stuff is so cool, though. Like, I gotta say, like, I'm really glad I dived into this because I think we can do some really cool stuff with it. Is it going to be difficult to furnish the interiors with stuff? 100%. 100%. Rando Gen car, Rando Gen test. I am curious what kind of performance hit it's going to have on the game. It's going to be very interesting. It's very probable that we end up just not making it a level. Look at that. The very first thing is randomly generated. Is this a randomly generated car? It is, because it has the long vertical alignment here. I think this shit's so cool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoopsies. They're the car rooms. Exactly, the train rooms. The train back rooms. God, these places, these areas now, these train cars feel so boring in comparison now. Because I just know where I'm going. Like, I know where to go. This is the test one that has the lights. We are gonna have to so next step is randomly generating where lights appear in those areas. And then adding them to the electrical array. So that will be a step in the workflow. Oh, and then we gotta set enemy spawn points as well, dynamically now, for those positions. Either that or we just make it so they can spawn at the center of each tile piece. I think you could create smaller versions of the special cards that generate inside the new rooms. Like a 3 long can be a library. So you mean like some of the long areas could end up generating like bookshelves along the walls and stuff? Is that what you mean? Yeah, because the big cars now feel too big. Well, I guess. I think I'm okay with the variety of different, like, sizes. I think it's interesting. You get, like, in between claustrophobic and like, kind of large scale. Where was the werewolf? Is the goal to have infinite cars? No, definitely not. Because the players need to be able to get to the back of the train to repair stuff in the back. But yeah, I think we could definitely reuse some of the themes in some of the other cars, like library stuff and whatnot. I think that could definitely be very cool. Can't see shit. It's because I don't have my flashlight. Should definitely have a few cars where there's no lights. Well, when the power goes out, it gets super dark. And then, of course, with the randomly generated cars, there's a chance that lights don't spawn in a bunch of the things, anyways. So we do a lot of that there. Perfect example. I was about to walk into that landmine. That would have been very bad. Is this a randomly generated car? It is, because this fucking thing is clipping the wall. Unless this bugged out. Did this not unload? Because this looks very similar to the one that we were just... Oh, no, it's not. Look, there's a straight pathway all the way to the damn thing. Okay, having those randomly generated rooms adds a lot. I'm feeling a lot better about the game. I think adding that element of randomness is very crucial. Random floorboards creaking and footsteps? No, 100%. I think sound effects is going to be a big stage for us. Like when you're in a chase with monsters, the landmine going boop, doing like a really like horribly sounding beep. What's this music? So, I'm gonna on purpose trigger the Stranded event so I can show you guys what I want to do next. Which could maybe be something that we do right now. The version that I want to do with the dungeon, where it's like a randomly generated kind of dungeon area, is when you get stranded. Okay, so when we get stranded, I want a doorway right here, a big doorway that then leads into a like a dungeon, and that gives you a chance to get some extra items that you otherwise would not have been able to get. So then that way you can fuel up. So that's the next idea. That's the next idea. More scope creep? Not really, because we kind of already structured the random generation to essentially work already with this. The thing is, we don't need any pathing necessarily, but I guess we could just give a path anyways. We do want this to start at like a different tile though. So if we are doing, let's say we're doing a 7x7. Actually, no, let's just keep it at 10. We want this to be in the middle tile. Let's say 5. 5. Would it be tile 50? I wish I could like preview this. Hold on, I need to draw this. You have a span of x 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh. So it'd be tile... It would be tile 50. Yeah. It'd be tile 50, as I expected. So the entrance would be tile 50. I actually don't know if this is going to work, because I've been doing everything based on entrance being at the very beginning. Let's see if that actually works. So this would be the entrance to the dungeon. Look at that. It made a T, which is great. But it seems like it's still starting the path generation from index 0. Which would be incorrect. How do you play the sounds when you grab objects and move them, like the rotation door? Do you just play the audio when the door rotates, or based on speed? I just do it based on speed or the angular velocity. So it is being done on tick. But I think we only calculate it when it's moving around. So unfortunately, some of those stuff is being done on tick. Not ideal, and there's probably going to be some optimizations to be done, at least for clients locally, when calculating that stuff, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so the random generation manager, we need to remove inaccessible rooms starting from... I actually think we want to start from the very first constraint. I think that would be smart, because then we're discovering neighbor rooms from the very beginning. So that's a good improvement, which should not change the normal cars because they start from tile index 0 anyways. Yeah, I just do it based on like so there's two different types. There's angular velocity in my case for some of the doors where you have to rotate them. And then the linear velocity would be another one. And then, yeah. And then for like playing sounds, when you grab them, it's literally just every item has... Actually, no, we use a generic pickup sound for everything when we grab stuff, but in the future we'll change that. So it's just when the line trace hits something, we just play a grab sound. But ideally in the future, each item would have like a specific grab noise that it would play itself as well. So if like you pick up metal, like boom, you know, it has like a sound to it. I think that would be satisfying as well. Like if you pick up a can, we can kind of play a little crunching noise. My problem is with slow movement, it stops but sounds horrible. So multiple things that I do, I pitch shift and then I modify the volume. So slow movements will be very, very low volume, and it'll also, some of the stuff pitch shifts a little bit. So like doors, for example, the rotation doors, they start out with the lower pitch and then increase pitch based on the angular speed. And that kind of helps a little bit. And then obviously the volume helps a lot. And then anything that rotates, like rotating doors, I think right now they're not a looping sound. It's like it plays a sound and then stops it or fades it out. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. But ideally, it would be a looping sound. I think if a door can loop by like spinning infinitely, it should be a looping sound. But because our doors have like a starting and an end, I think the sound is all one beginning and end sound currently, rather than looping. And it sounds okay. Actually, I think the... let me see here. I think the sound effect for the moving door, like the sliding door, I think that's looping. I think. Let me double check. Yep, that one's looping. So the door that slides is looping. But there's another door that's just a one-time sound. Yeah. That one's not looping. Yeah, anyways, hope that helps. Yeah, anything slow movement or low like speed, I just usually just do a really low volume. Okay, so we discover the neighboring rooms from there. We probably also want to start pathfinding, not from index 0, but from... from the first constraint value. So let's do that. So let's do this. That should make it so the path starts from where we specify. Which it does. Let's double check that the normal sized one works. Yep, just works the same. Because I'm pretty sure it's just feeding it the index value anyways, so it shouldn't suddenly break or anything. Okay, I was like weirded out. I'm like, why is it moving over here? It's because we got unlucky and it literally moved the pathing there. But we can see that the beginning point is here. So this is perfect because we're starting to get our dungeon. My only problem right now, though, is it's trying to fill every single tile. I really do not want it to fill every tile. I want it to have gaps. And we tried to put a value that had 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But that doesn't work. That creates like a lot of problems. Let me try adding it again. Maybe it's okay now. Maybe it's oh my god, we have 60 array elements in here. I'm a little worried that this is going to break. Like it's going to cause so many issues because now we have so many prototype values. Okay, so again, here is a piece. This, I think, actually is possibly because we don't have a wall for this, actually. I don't think we have a wall that's structured like that, actually. That is a wall. Open door? Wall, open door? Wall, open door. Yeah, I don't think I have one of those. Wall, open doorway. So that actually is just, that's not because we added that empty piece. That's, I think, because we're actually genuinely missing a piece like that. I gotta figure out how we can fix this though, because like I'm okay with adding the new piece. It just means that we have new iteration stuff, which is cool. I'm always down for that. It just look at the amount of pieces we have in here, man. Thank goodness we added that tool, but geez. Yikes, man. Like Zoink Scoob. Sick. So you know what this means? We can now use this generative system for our little dungeon that we're going to have in the game. And that's going to be super duper sick. We can maybe change like the walls too, the way that the walls look and whatnot. So, let me see here. We need a piece like this. However, both wall sides need to connect to that point right there. He's got to make procedural dungeons everywhere. No, dude, listen. It's just a small tangent. It's fun. Dude, I love this. It's great. We've only been working on it for less than a week. Okay, come on. At least give me 1 week to mess around with this stuff. Okay, come on. All right, at least let me have 1 week on this, all right? Come on. Playtest in a week? I don't think we'll have a playtest in well, we do need to do a tech test soon, like ASAP, to be fair. Especially with this new stuff. Like, we 100% are going to need some... So it should be one wall right there. It does not need to be doing what it's doing, actually. We can just make it flat. Forgot to modify the ceiling. You'll be back in 4 years. Gosh, it's gonna be fine. I have everything under control. I have everything under control, except for the fact that these are all level instances, which I'm starting to realize I don't think we need to. I was thinking all of these level instances would be like me going in and manually filling them in with shit. But like, then we just end up back at the problem where everything is like... I was assuming I was going to make separate rooms. Now I'm making wall pieces that connect to other wall pieces, which is really annoying because now it's like, how do I fill in the space? I can't really fill in properly. I'm going to have to procedurally generate the spaces now. Manually place areas that can spawn random props of its size. That's what I'm thinking. We'll do something with PCG where it'll mostly place things along the walls, not on doorways, and then maybe place stuff in the middle sections, maybe randomize a pillar here and there, you know, something like that. I think that will be the vibe. Cool. If you place like cubes and levels yourself and then they get replaced with a prop of its size when the rooms are spawned in, I guess we could do that too. Yeah, I have no clue how we're going to furnish these. And that's going to be pretty important too, to be fair. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the randomized layouts, I think, adds a lot. And then getting lost, I feel like, is a huge part of these kind of games, is like kind of getting lost a little bit. But I definitely do want some preset rooms. So like maybe the level instance structure was the right way to go, because then we can make preset rooms, and then all we got to do is just create a different level instance, and then we could do some cool stuff with that. The only problem is we can't like do what we were thinking of doing, which is one of these in here was that piece that I was basically originally thinking of. Yeah, this was how I was originally thinking of doing it. Is it would generate a piece, but it's already one whole piece, which means I could like do my own kind of thing here and whatnot. but I couldn't figure out how we would do this in the tile generator. I think what we would have to do is the data asset would have to have like, okay, an array of like, okay, what extra slots would this take up? And then the generator would have to figure out, oh, do we have an empty slot here that we can maybe do? And then take over it and remove all of its prototypes so it doesn't have any options to fill up from. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done there. That's one way of going about it. And then if we suddenly have like a door here, then maybe we could say, hey, yeah, I don't know. That could be one way of changing this system or adding to it. We could still have these big rooms, but then have like the actual very specific rooms, like the one that I just had here. I don't know. Did I do this correctly? Yes. It was one wall and then a doorway. Okay, cool. So this is going to be the V3, straight open V3. X positive is a door, X negative is a wall, and then the other ones are open spaces. Commit. God, it's so much easier and so much faster just adding pieces now because we just do that and then we can just get straight back into it. Let's see if we notice any of those around. We do. But for some reason this is happening. I want to say that's because the allow backtracking is causing a big like issue there. The backtracking system hasn't been like updated to everything that we've been doing, so it's not a big deal. We don't 100% necessarily need it. What we can also do, which is really cool, we can make it so the rules for this beginning piece is a T junction or a plus junction. Let me see if that works. So the very beginning should have doors going in all directions. Very Lethal Company-esque. That way that forces as many options as we can. I had a feeling I knew what this was. It's Age of Empires, dude. Hell yeah. Now, there is the off chance that one of the rooms is a dead end. It's, you know what I'm noticing, which is really weird? Oh, there we go. It did go straight that time. Banger soundtrack, to be fair. God. I remember when I was a kid listening to this. It's so good, dude. It really is so good. So, let's play test this real quick. Hold on, actually. I forgot. It's currently just a testing blueprint. If I turn that off, it should spawn the level for me. Okay. So, this is... Where's the beginning point? It's over here. So this is what the dungeon area would look like. We would probably want entirely different walls. It would appear I didn't fix the UVs on this section. That's the... That's this piece, though, which I don't remember necessarily doing any work on. Remind me to re-import that. Actually, I might be able to re-import it right now. Let me just exit it so I don't suddenly fall through the floor. Maybe I'm not able to re-import it while in play. because yeah, those UVs would be fixed. Chuck some rock textures on there, make them look like tunnels. Is this still train rot? Yeah, it is. It is. This is so the idea with this big dungeon area, this would be if the players end up stranded in a tunnel, which is basically like you didn't fill up the quota, and you need a final chance to quickly gather some items. This would basically be like the dungeon that you would go through, is kind of the idea. I would also love to reuse this system for an idea I had at one point is the players at some point can unlock the ability to get even more items if they're greedy by going through a dungeon in the stations themselves. But if they die there, they perma-die, so it's like a danger zone kind of thing. I think that could be really cool, and then those could have their own themes. The only problem with that is we'd have to create an entirely different tile set. I'd want to, like, one of them would be sewers, and I feel like that would have its own tile set. I literally don't know where the beginning is anymore. Let's see if we can find the beginning. Is this the beginning? Oh my god, we found the beginning. We're back at the beginning. Hell yeah. Also, what's really funny is our aura light, like the light that's around our player character, is actually pretty bright. It might be actually the exposure, because I don't think we have the post-processing effects in here. What about dungeons in the train? Dungeon train? We have these spawning in. It's the only problem is they're just 5x2. They're only 2x5. Guys, I'm going in circles. I think I might be going in circles. It would be so good if a monster spawns a infinite loop in this area. Can you imagine you're just spinning in circles, but it's the same thing over and over again? And then the instant you turn a corner, you see like the monster's face or some shit. That would be creepy as hell. Okay, let me re-import that T piece because I don't think it, I don't think we can re-import meshes while we're in What the hell is going on? Why are there 7 UV channels? Hello, Dormammu. I've come to bargain. Why are there 7 UV channels? There's only one. There are still 7 UV channels. T connection tight. T connection tight. What the hell is Unreal Engine doing? I don't know what it's doing. I think we might have to like restart the engine. I think something fucked up. Maybe because we were in play and we tried to re-import it. And then just went up and then died. I don't fucking know what's going on. This shit's so weird. It's like re-importing with the exact same file. Okay, we're gonna rerun. It's not Blender. There's no way it's Blender. It's 100% just UE being weird. It still has 7 UV channels. It's still doing it. Dude, what the fuck is going on? It's always Blender? Like, let me see. Maybe every object that has... Let me try, for the export file, let's try UE standard. We still have 7 UV channels. I quite literally do not know why. I have a feeling we ran into this issue in the past. Actually, we did. We did 100% run into this problem in the past. I don't remember what we did to fix it. Let's try that. Convert attribute to UV. Is it actually exporting over that file? As far as I can tell, yes. Because it's called T-Tile, Tcon tight. Are any of these objects fucked up? Let's try joining all of them. Let's try joining all these doors. I think this mesh is haunted. I have a feeling this mesh is haunted. Breaking news, health officials investigate 110 salmonella cases tied to jalapeno served at Chipotle. Brother, Chipotle is one big health investigation problem. Don't go to Chipotle. You have a sneaker? The player, I built a feature for the player that could guide you to the right path out, keeps the frustration done. For me, I kind of want the players to get lost, though. I feel like that's kind of part of the experience. Every time we re-import, it uses a different UV channel. Look at the wall. Every single time we re-import this thing, it's like... It's fucked up. Let's do generate light map UVs, apply changes. Maybe UE4 compatible UVs? I really have no clue why this is happening. And specifically on this object as well. We ran into this problem and I don't remember what we did to fix it. We had this problem before. I don't remember what we did. I wonder if my maybe my asset exporter is a bit fucked up. Yeah, maybe Ogmatic. Let's see. Let me try overriding it by just dragging it in. I really don't want to have to delete this and then re-import it because that'd be really annoying. It could be our exporter. No. Something during export, I think. I've had this issue before. I swear I have. And it might... was it that? Turn off generate light map UVs? Gonna be using items to lay breadcrumbs because I know I'll get lost. That's smart. You could use like glow sticks to light the way. That should be an item. An item where you can just drop a bunch of it on the floor and it stays there. Okay, so now this apparently just works. It was UE. It was literally UE. UE for some reason created a bunch of extra UVs for no reason, which I think is because I was trying to re-import while I was in play. I think that did not have a good time. Now I gotta go back here. Oh. Okay, it found the pathing again. Okay, it found the path. Okay. No, like actual breadcrumbs leading to a mimic bread box. Oh yeah? Beautiful day we're having. Beautiful day we're having. I hate Bethesda games. They're great and horrendous at the same time. All right. All right. Did it spawn any? Oh, it did. It did spawn a random generation car. Where is it? I think it's at the back of the train. So, I don't think we have any monster spawn points. I gotta go. Oh, fuck. The electrical thing is in the wall. Not that it matters, because we literally cannot spawn... We don't spawn lights in here yet. The golden chalice. You know, an easy fix for the electrical component, not having to randomly generate it inside of the train car, we could put it on the outside of the train car. How many months of development are we into right now? 7? 7 to 8, I think. Brother. Yeah, boy. Put that right there. Yeah. Look at this idiot. I grabbed him through the wall and threw him out of bounds. I can't see shit. Generating train cars that look a little bit like this would be pretty cool too. Now that I think about it. Like a tight hallway without any doors. We'd have to make an entirely new tile set for that, which I'm not looking forward to though. But we could do it. Could be done. Would be cool. Yeah, this could be sick. We could make this like a thing. Only problem is like the doors. Don't know how the doors would be structured. I don't know. Hell, this car, the apartment car could be its own tile set. Ah. Yeah. I think the game's starting to come together. I think we discovered one piece of the problem. 1/3 of the problem with the gameplay. The suspense. We were missing one key emotion, which was suspense, and I think the levels was a large contributor of that. I think the next thing with the monsters is sound design, a lot of like polished stuff to make the horror aspect a little bit, the thriller aspect a bit more there. I think that's going to be a lot of sound design and music. Then the next piece of the puzzle is the maintenance tasks. But other than that, I think once we squash out all of that, I think we squashed one problem out of the way. We understand one problem, which is the levels need to be a lot more random. Just more like you don't know what the idea I think with the levels is you walk in not knowing what you're gonna get in every car. Right? I think that's the idea. We want it so you go into a train car, you have no idea what you're gonna get into. Right? I think that's the general emotion we want to come across. You don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what you're getting into. Maybe some train cars, you'll have a general idea of what kind of minigame might be there. Like, for example, the restaurant/dinner hall car has that whole, like, or will have that whole thing where you have to, like, bring plates to specific tables very quickly. That sort of thing. But yeah. Who turned off the lights? And then, of course, monster variation, I think, is going to be a big part as well. Maybe you could do a slimmer car, but 2 floors accessible by the stairwells at the front and back next to the doors. You could do a slimmer car, but 2 floors accessible by stairwells at the front and back next to the doorways. I do want to do multi-floor generation, or generating. We just have to figure out how to come across that. It is on the docket, though, for sure. One thing I'm very worried about, though, is if let's say a player wants to go from point A to point B because they got to repair something at the very back of the train. I do want to be very careful with double floors because that might eat up a lot of your time. And unfortunately, the maintenance tasks, it's required that you have to get to the back of the train to fix something at the back of the train. A big, destructive, scary monster doing lots of damage at the far end of the car. As he approaches you, he gets smaller, and his one attack is to headbutt your shin, and he just dies in one hit. Excuse me? Why does he get smaller? Why does he become smaller? What's the idea behind him getting smaller? Double floor car would just give you the option to go to top or bottom floor. We wouldn't have to traverse both. Yeah, it would definitely be interesting. Yeah, we'll see how we end up doing that. We'll see how we end up doing that. Let me go to the... Do we have a level for the stranded level? We do. I think the thing is, this needs to be an entirely different level. One, 2, 1.5. Okay, so this does have the tunnel lights. Kind of annoying. Okay. Wait, what? Why isn't this tiling properly? Damage would scale him, so the player would see him being big and scary and run if they didn't know. Way to deal with him was to close the distance. Oh, to kind of trick players into thinking that he's this big, bad, scary thing. Would give you more space to work with it if you went vertical, for sure. I don't know. We'll see what we end up doing. I don't really know yet what we're gonna do for the... I do kind of like this being really long because I think the fog makes it look a lot larger than what it actually is. I think I have a different cube here. I don't know where I put it. That's not it. That ain't it. That's it. Got it. Yes. Yes. Okay. We probably want to place a wall here, huh? So the players can't, like, suddenly run out of the level. What's the worst that'll happen? They get lost? Whatever. Not my problem. Maybe just don't get lost. All right, let's just put a fence there. Fence. The big bad fence. I'm playing like a spooky mix. It's a little spooky. All right, 2 fences. Don't fuck this up. Maybe 3. Just to lock the deal. Now, we do need a specific train tunnel mesh that has a door. We need one with a door. I need to go find one with a door. Let me see if we can maybe... We'll use this. What you making right now, boss? I am basically creating the stranded level, which is essentially if you don't fuel up, you get stuck in a tunnel, and you're given like a last chance to fuel up the train, basically. I gotta import a mesh. To use as a size reference for this. Is that exactly where the doorway is? It's actually extremely close to where the door would be. Actually, let me do this. I'm gonna go and snap it exactly to the floor. That'll be a lot better for me. Okay, so the idea is this needs to connect to the wall. So first off, I think we're gonna create a big like area for this, which I think should look really cool. It'll look a lot like a bunker. Some kind of like bunker entrance I think would look sick. Okay, we're gonna definitely want to move this up. And then probably align this one. Oh, great. Okay, close enough. And then fill in that face. Fill in these faces. I kind of messed this up, but it's okay, we'll fix it. Technically not the most proper thing in the world, but that's okay. It is friend slop after all. It is friend slop after all. We definitely don't need these inside faces for the doorway. So we can actually go ahead and delete these because they're not. The moonlight is going to get through here, isn't it? Should we just turn off the moonlight when we're stranded? Actually, that would be a good idea. Where do I get my game sound effects? A bunch of different libraries. Biggest one being Boom Library. That's the biggest one that I use. Boom Library would be the biggest one that I use. And then in here, we have to connect that there. And then this is going to be parented to the tunnel because this is going to be the entry point. And then we're essentially going to just create the floor piece here. And then the next up is the wall. I think we're going to scale by the Y. Yeah, so Boom Library is a big spot where I got sound effects from. Various other libraries. The Sonus Sound Pack library is pretty helpful. I think we're going to move this in. Then do an inset. Inset, boundary. And then this will be like stage 2. Extrude that in. It's funny because technically the floor is almost like a separate piece. It definitely could be a separate piece. And then we'd probably want to move this in or make it deeper. I do think we're going to want a different like tile set for this though. I really do think we're going to want a different tile set because I feel like that'd be so much more interesting. Not just the one that you find on the train, but it's like its own thing. I think would be definitely an ideal situation. So I'm gonna do knife tool, and then create the opening. This is the most work we've seen yet, Krim? What do you mean? I get a lot done. This is bullshit. It's not like a proper mesh at all, but fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. It's not a proper mesh at all. I'm like on purpose making this all fucked up. Okay, it's copium. It's not on purpose. It's me just doing some stupid shit. Double wide door on there, something imposing. God, that would be kind of sick, huh? The only problem right now is I don't know what the tile set's going to look like for this dungeon area. So right now I'm kind of just basing it off of like this piece. Let's just do this for now. And then ideally in the future, this tile set would actually be larger. I think that would be sick. Like a larger sized set of tiles and stuff. That I think would be super cool. Old mines, the mines. Okay, so let's export this piece. Everything exports in this one folder where literally all of my meshes are. It's a process. It is definitely a way of doing things. I think I accidentally cut through the object. That's fine. We fixed it. That's fine. We didn't fix it. Is it not re-importing my mesh again? Or is this shit just fucked up? No, it's fine. Dude, what the hell is wrong with Unreal today? The hell's going on? Let me check my task manager and see if there's like a dead instance. Crash report client editor. And whenever those are open, that never helps. It does really piss me off. Like, I don't know why Unreal randomly just can't re-import. I have no idea. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know. Unreal's just being stupid. It's being so fucking dumb. It's being so ridiculously stupid. Let me see if I have any like ghost tasks randomly open. Nope, I don't see anything. Okay. Re-importing is fucked. I don't know what happened, but it is fucked up. It is absolutely messed up. Oh, I don't know where that went. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Let's delete it again. Re-import it. I don't... Let's see. That looks normal to me. It's the same material. That also looks normal to me. Am I exporting this in the right file, actually? Train tunnel door. Shading flat? I don't think it's that. Because you can see here the UVs are all fucked up. It's like the UVs are not updating. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe it's Blender. Let's try reopening Blender. No. I don't know. It's still broken. Oh, we were editing. Okay, it was Blender. I was editing a UV map 2. UV map 2, I see. UV map 2. There's 2 UV maps. It was a me issue. It was a pilot problem that entire time. It wasn't Unreal. Yep. Yeah, that happens. That happens. And I think I fucked up the UV for this. Because I think we had it extremely hyper-specific. Whatever. That's on me. I'm dumb. I don't know why it didn't retain the colors I gave it. So weird. Okay. Uh-oh. This whole thing is scaled. And I didn't realize that. And so because of that, the door itself is also scaled. Uh-oh. Maybe we scale up our dungeon. Maybe our dungeon is like larger. The doors are larger and everything. To be fair, that looks kind of sick, actually. Doubling the scale of everything. It has a more grandiose feel to it. This is me copying with the fact that I now have to fix this. But it does unironically look kind of cool. I think we set that to 2 as well, actually. This is a tunnel for ants? I don't know. This is a pretty big tunnel, I'd say. I think I forgot to set the collision on this. Ideally, this would be nice to not do this, but just for beginning stages, we'll just do this. Oh yeah, that's sick. We are going to need some lights in here, though. We probably want these lights to appear from farther away. Just because of how important it is. It's fading out pretty quickly. That way, like when you're on the edge of the train, you can see it kind of there. I actually think this, we want to change it so it doesn't have an emissive. There we go. Maybe these red LEDs as well. Maybe we want that to not be there as well. I think what could be cool is maybe just this one right here. Don't cast any shadows, just red. Okay, so let's go on ahead to our random gen test thingy. Grab the manager. And something I'm probably going to want to be careful of is, well, for one, we're going to have to place this very specifically. And I don't really have an easy way of dragging everything in an easy spot. Which is going to be annoying. I should be able to rotate this. Why am I not able to rotate it, actually? Rotation, yaw. Transform location, get actor transform. Yeah, I should be able to actually, some of them are working. Oh, now it's working. What? What the hell? I also don't think it's a good idea to make it 10 by 10. Especially with the fact that we're going to be making this 2 times the size. Let's see if it can even generate. If we do 2 times the size, will it actually generate these as 2 times? Oh, can you not scale up a level instance? Oh, shit. Wait, some of them are doing it. Maybe we just need to drag the thing again. Okay. It is now double the size. Probably not what we want, but fuck it. Oh shit, that's in the center position. What's the 900? One, two, three, but it's actually going to be 1800, so we actually want to do 900. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but since we're generating it from tile 50, tile 50, it's 5 to the right, so we need to do... I don't know if this is exactly in position. Whatever the Y position of this is what I need for this. Okay. So we need to do 900 times 5 is 4,500. So we need to do... wait, no. I think it's 9,000 units. Hold on. Why don't I just do this? I can take the plus 9,000. Ever tried to create a game in Godot? I have not. I have not. Yes, man. It is slightly too high, though. I have not. Is this still too high up? 200? Is the Z height not taking into account? Oh. I don't think it does. So if I set this to 0. Uh-oh. Ooh, it doesn't... Hmm. Huh. Really? You know what I'm going to do as a stupid fix? Yep, you guessed it. Now we don't need to be perfectly on point. Stupid fixes become permanent solutions? You're damn right. You're damn right. I am perfectly okay with that. I am perfectly content with that. That's fine with me. Okay, let's see if this will re-import properly again. Why does it look like it got further away? You know, I actually could modify this in Scythe, now that I think about it. Could be a good moment to just use Scythe for this. Yes, man. Just a little bit back, and then call it a day. Yeah. You know, sometimes you just gotta make do with what you got, you know? And this is what we got. What we got. Sometimes you just gotta make do with what you got. What's with that massive chart you switched to? I'm still new to the whole thing. This is a blueprint, which I know it looks extremely daunting. That's because it's like the whole procedural generation thing works through this right now. There's a lot of pieces to this thing. My ass is obsessed with perfect modules. Are gonna have a stroke seeing this, dude. You don't need the perfect module. It's fine. What this does mean is these rooms are massive. They're huge. I don't really like it, to be honest. Can I be real? I don't like the large pieces. Because I'm dumb and I doubled the scale of everything in this, the easy way to fix this is to take this whole thing. I should honestly just properly do this properly, but we're not about proper here. We're about do the thing. Just get it done. Just get it in. Make it exist first. Then we can do the rest. We're not fixing it. We're not fixing it. You kidding me? Do you take me for someone that would properly fix something? Okay, so oh, that's these pieces. Technically don't need these because this has a floor. Yeah, that's fine. Random question, have I ever burned out? I think I did burn out during Suit for Hire. Okay, so this is the proper size. Although I minused 4,500 from this, which I thought was correct. Plus 4,500. Randomize. Why are these things still doubled in size even though I set the... There we go, now it works. And now it's back to... Something weird is going... Some sort of caching is occurring. This one is spawning correctly, but the other ones are not spawning correctly? Excuse me? How did I overcome burnout? Well, now it's spawning too low. Wait, this is actually the weirdest fucking thing I think I've ever experienced. For this to work, I need to modify 2 axes. Close enough. Yeah, I don't know. I think starting a new project or just playing a shit ton of games and just kind of go exercise, I think helps. Just do different stuff. I think burnout, like I wouldn't say I like really burnt out because I think it was during the whole level design arc that like really messed with me. And now it's a little better because I was able to kind of like get past it and force myself to get into that whole zone and whatnot, but it was still very, very difficult. Very, very difficult for sure. Saw the placement of the rooms. I guess that's how players falling out of bounds begins. No, 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 that's not gonna happen. No, that's not gonna happen at all. No, no, that's not gonna happen. Pfft. Falling out of bounds. No. No. No, no, that's fine. That's fine. No, it's gonna be fine. Just gotta push through it. I think forcing it is not a good idea. necessarily. I think forcing it causes the problem to become worse. I think a big thing is that I always say is be purposeful with your time. I think being purposeful with your time is very important. And by that I mean, like, be very explicit when you want to work on stuff. And don't keep giving yourself a loose schedule, because by giving yourself a loose schedule, then you feel like you're constantly in, you know, you need to work on the thing that you need to do, or do the thing that you want to work on. So I think that's a very important part. Personally, at least, that was like very important for me. You know, I tell myself, okay, I'm done working. Like, I'm literally like, I literally say, I'm done working. I'm not working anymore for the day. I'm done working. Or I get started on work and I'm like, I'm going to do 2 hours of work. And then I find a task on my list and I'm like, I work on that. I'm working on this. I think being purposeful with your time is a good, like, thing that everybody can apply, I feel like. But I think burnout, whatnot, I think is a different problem for everybody. But I think being purposeful is good. And then, like, being purposeful as in, like, the weekends, right? I will not work on the weekends. Or if you do work on the weekends, you say, I will just do this one thing. Is this a Lethal Company like? Tech, kind of. Lethal Company, Repo. It's like it's a co-op survival horror friend slop kind of game where all of the players are employees of a train. And they have to keep the train running, find items. That's kind of the direction we're going with on it. I gotta change that. Metal banana. Banana. Kind of dealing with it by doing programming stuff during my free time, joining this game jam and having a lot of fun. I think the beauty of, while it is a terrifying thing being a game developer that tries to do a little bit of everything, God, it feels so nice, because I could feel stuck on something and then I'm like, all right, I'll just work on something else. And I think that's a really nice thing that I can do. Because I can literally be like, yeah, I don't want to work on insert thing here today. I'm going to work on something different. Banana. Goodbye. Anyways, I want to see the stranded state, because I also want to see if the thing will generate properly. Also, I have to put a reverb volume in that area. Okay. So we have 5 minutes. Honestly, I might extend how long you can spend in this dungeon. Oh yeah, this is sick. I do think we should change the fog to actually be a dark value. And then additionally, we should turn off the moon in this area. Like, just turn off skylight and moon altogether. Skylight, actually, we can leave turned on, but the moon should be turned off. Should have a value of 0, because you can quite literally see the moon shining through here. What happened? It would appear 2 volumes generated inside of each other. Did I accidentally leave a something in the generator? It's not a testing blueprint anymore. Did it change the seed midway through generating this? Wait, ain't no way. We might have to give this a delay. Yep, the beautiful, powerful delay. 2 seconds. Did I read any good books lately? I bought Dune. I bought the book, like the 3 first Dune books. I'm gonna be reading that. I still have to. Me and a bunch of my best friends. We're gonna like read the books together and then do like little mini book club kind of thing. So that's what I'm gonna be reading. I still have to read that game design book, but honestly, I think it's just kind of bullshit. It's from the designer of RimWorld, but I honestly I don't find it useful. I really don't find it useful, man. I really don't find it useful, to be honest. So kind of annoying. We only refresh the material if it is nighttime. Maybe useful for making RimWorld. It goes through some interesting subjects, but additionally it's kind of like whatever. Right, so we have to change the sun brightness. We shouldn't have used a Boolean. This should have been an integer. Does it like say obvious shit for 400 pages? I wouldn't say it says obvious shit for 400 pages, but it just, I think game design books are okay. They might give you some ideas here and there. But I really feel like game design is one of those things that you just have to practice and just get out there, look at games, study them yourself. I feel like make games, just make a bunch of shit. I think that goes a long way. Is that the Mold Rise soundtrack? This is from Cyberpunk. I spent around 2 hours trying to find why an effect was spawning on the other side of the screen. Learned a thing from that today. It was spawning on the other side of the screen. Okay, so we will have to down the line change this system. Instead of a Boolean, it should be an integer. My PC's still borked, so I'm stuck reading. Oh, that's fair, man. I don't know, I'm not a big... I love reading. I just gotta find the book that like sucks me in, and then I'm stuck in it. So I need to get started on Dune. I've just been so busy. I probably shouldn't be advancing so quickly. We might end up crashing everything again. Like that one time. I'd be careful. We also need to figure out the exterior area needs a lot of elements being randomized as well, because right now it's the same level, the same tunnel appearing at the exact same time. So we do need to change all of that. I always hated reading because my parents were forcing them on me as a kid, but I recently started getting into books. I really feel like you just gotta go into it and then find books that interest you. Do I use any assets from the Unity store? I don't, because I use Unreal. We have a couple assets from Unreal, but not that many. This project has been actually a lot of our own stuff. We have a lot of our own just shit. How many items do we have again? I don't know, we'll find out. How many do we have? 39? 30, 40 actually. That's a lot of shit. I thought this was Unity? No, don't worry. You're not the only one. I've had a lot of people think my games are Unity games. I think it's the way I just, like, change the rendering in the engine. I just make it different. But yeah, we have a ton of items. My partner made most of these, and she just started learning modeling and texturing, so... very proud of what she was able to kind of accomplish and learn. I think the only thing that I modeled here is that flashlight. And the sponge, and the bandage. Oh, and the coal. And I think the fire extinguisher. And the plunger. I think she modeled everything else. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what the stranded state looks like now. We do need to remove the moon. Remove the moon! Destroy the moon. Is this generating properly now? We did see some weird shit going on in the middle. I think it's fine now. I don't know what happened. Like randomly some... I think it was the delay made it so the seed changed and then it just started breaking. What we should probably do... No, we do save the seed. No, the seed is the same. I have no idea how that happened. I'm perplexed. God, these long rooms are going to be creepy as hell. I will say though, my computer is running a little higher than usual. If we freeze rendering, are these being culled? Yeah, it looks like the rooms are being culled, so that's fine. The hell is this? Why does it look different? Oh, that's because there's a wall right next to another wall. Some editor cache or something choking your PC. I think it's probably like, yeah, memory or something, but I think it's my GPU, so it's gonna be interesting to look into. Gonna be interesting to look into. Anyways, I gotta go eat, guys. Good stream. Great stream. Amazing. Amazing stream, even. Very happy with what we were able to do. I also just realized that multiple dungeons may have spawned in because this was set to not test Blueprint anymore. But damn, dude, we are getting some really cool rooms spawning. Now, the big challenge, the big uh-oh, is populating the interiors of these in a way that feels kind of natural. Yeah. 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 Youch. Anyways, I gotta figure out food. So I'll see you guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for sticking around, lurking, chatting. Post this to YouTube as a clip. I think I'm gonna make a full YouTube video actually on this, like a series. Procedural generation from an idiot. I tried procedural generation. I'm an idiot. Yeah. You can call yourself human when you read read your height in book length. So the amount of books you've read. I'm gonna be real. I'm a little too tall for that. I'm 6'4", like 196 centimeters. So I'd have to read a lot of books. I think I've probably read enough books to get up to maybe my thigh. Maybe my thigh. Maybe my knee, actually. I'm going to be real. Maybe up to my knee. To be fair, that's probably more books than a lot of people. I've read all of the Hunger Games. That was a fun read when I was a kid. There was this one book that I read as a kid that was fun. I read a bunch of school books. I don't remember any of them. I'm going to be honest. What did I read, actually? What kind of books have I read? I don't even know what kind of books I've read. I don't even remember. I don't even remember. Are these picture books? No. I do have art books, though. A shit ton. I have the whole Harry Potter series. I should probably read those, too. And now I have Dune, so I'm reading Dune now. How do you stack audiobooks? You can't. You're screwed. You gotta stack up CDs, and you're gonna have to stack up a lot of CDs. That's a lot of audiobooks. Anyways, have I read Meg and Mog? Nah, man, I literally don't know. Common Canadian school books. Let's see. What kind of books do they show? Common Canadian school curriculum. Wait, hold on. Let's see if I can find a list. I don't know. I literally don't know. I don't know any of these. The Handmaid's Tale? Never heard of it. I don't even know what that is. What even is that? Canada school books that you read. I can't. There's nothing here. There's no books that I'm sure like my teacher probably gave us books that like aren't common. I have a feeling. Goodreads. Goodreads. Let's see. Let's see this website. Goodreads. What you got? The Hunger Games. Yeah, read all of the Hunger Games. I think I read all of them. There's like what, 3? There's either 3 or there's 4 of them. Best books of the 20th century. Oh, To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, yeah, I read that one. I don't remember anything in that book though. Oh yes, it's the yes. I remember this book actually. It's the lawyer. Yes. The Great Gatsby. No, The Hobbit. I did not read, but I think The Hobbit would be a great read. Maybe after Dune. Narnia. You know what? Did I read Narnia, the first one? No, I don't think I did. Don't think I did. Watched all the movies though. The Giver. Yeah, I read that one. I recognize this one. Yeah, baby. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that this shit doesn't show my address anywhere. That wouldn't be good. This one. I read this fucking book. I remember this one. Yep. I remember that. I remember that briefly. Lord of the Flies. Never watched it. I read it. Not watched it. Read it. Charlotte's Web. Probably read it. That was a common one. Ender's Game, I've heard so much about when I still remember teachers telling me all about it. Didn't read it. Yeah. 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 The Secret Garden, I want to say I feel like I read it, but I haven't. Yeah, anyways, just some random books here and there. I do want to read more books. I think books are great. I think books are good. I think social media just kind of fucking brain rotted me though. Like I gotta detox from social media and shit. 1984, never had that. The last book you might ever read will be The Art of War. Isn't The Art of War made by Sun what's his name? Isn't that the one that like attack your enemy at night? Isn't it like that type of shit? I thought you didn't know the book. I know of the book. I didn't read the book. I know of the book. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for looking. More shit. I don't know what we're going to work on tomorrow. Maybe some more procedure generation. Who fucking knows? We'll probably work on more elements of the game, but at least we're sort of... I think we're getting the... We're figuring out the pillars of our game, and one of them is definitely mystery. I think the random generation falls into that category to some extent. And the next one is the maintenance tasks. We're gonna have to definitely figure that one out. All right. I'm hungry. See you guys later.